as strong as a stone, against the stormy winds that have blown. But you have friends who care, more than willing to share, go face these troubles alone. And I pray for you, and I mention your name to the Lord. When I seek his face, and I plead your case, that's what praying is for. I'll help you carry your cross, and find the way when you're lost. If you let Jesus be true, I know that he'll see you through, and I pray for you.
I know that there come a day when I'll have trials and need you to pray. Just like you've done before, you mentioned me to the Lord. That's why I'm here to say,
I'll be there for you.
my all problems lie true, and very soon they'll be free. You and
Jesus and me.
that's what friends are supposed to do.
And I pray for you, and I mention your name to the Lord. When I seek his face, can I plead your case? That's what praying is for. I'll help you carry your cross, and find the way when you're lost. If you let Jesus be true, I know that he'll see you through, and I pray for you, and I pray for you, and I mention your name to the Lord. When I seek his face, and I plead your case, that's what praying is for. I'll help you carry your cross, and find the way when you're lost. If you let Jesus be true, I know that he'll see you through, and I pray for you. If you let Jesus be true, I know that he'll see you through, and I pray for you, and I pray for you, and I pray for you. You want to be forgiven? You want to go to heaven? Freedom from your sin, peace and joy in holy life with living. You want to live forever in a place where sorrow comes no never. Come and go with me all the way to Calvary. You want to be forgiven. You have heard the Spirit saying, there's a blessing up ahead. Walk this road and I will lead the way. He saw the eunuch grieving, he didn't know what he had in, only life worth living. You want to live forever, in a place where sorrow comes no never. Come and go with me all the way to Calvary. You want to be forgiven. My friend, I'm here to tell you that the word of God is true. Eternal life is waiting if you just believe. You want to be forgiven? Do you want to go to heaven? Free from your sin, peace and joy within, only life worth living. You want to live forever, in a place where sorrow comes no never. Come and go with me all the way to Calvary. You want to be forgiven. Do you want to be? 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 Do you want to be forgiven? Do you want to live forever, in a place where sorrow comes no never? Come and go with me all the way to Calvary. You want to be forgiven. Come and go with me all the way to Calvary. You want to be forgiven. Do you want to be? Do you want to be? Do you want to be? Do you want to be forgiven? You want to be forgiven.
Thank you, Gospel Group and Dennis. I don't know, that last song was a little bit jazzy, especially for us Lutherans. Oh, it's good to have you share, and I am proud to be the pastor of this congregation as I think about all the things that we're involved with in this church for the sake of Jesus Christ. And certainly our music is a big part of that. So thanks again, Gospel Group. We have a few announcements today that I wanted to take note of. First of all, a birthday and an anniversary to celebrate. Judy Benz has her birthday on October 11th, and we have an anniversary. Lynn and Shirley Wagner celebrate 47 years of marriage on the 9th. So let's congratulate them. Please add one name to your prayer list from what's listed there. We had a member that worships with us on Wednesday evening, Jennifer Heyer, that had brain surgery on Friday. She's a young mom, and the family has asked us to keep her in our thoughts and prayers. She made it through the surgery okay to this point. And they're doing some work on pathology and trying to figure that out. The surgery is on Friday. And we do have a need for that. If there's anybody who would be interested in making a meal for her and her two daughters, she's a single mom, to drop them off at the church here. We have someone that would pick them up and deliver them to her. She lives in Lawler. We certainly would appreciate that. If you can help us out, leave a message with me or call the church office, and we'll get you on the schedule for that. We were just thinking of a couple of weeks as she gets back on her feet again. Also, In our announcements, we keep in our thoughts and prayers the family and friends of Louis Sostak Jr. Louis' funeral was held here yesterday at the church, and we certainly keep Vi and the family in our prayers during this time. We have the Bible study books. They've arrived for the Thursday morning Bible study group. They're in the conference room for you to stop and pick up. And we ask that you would just write your name down when you take your copy. Take a look at the other announcements which may pertain to you. This morning we have a special treat in that we have two people who have worked with the Royal Family Kids Camp, Shane Erlinson and Marv Larson. And they are going to be sharing a little temple talk at this point, and they will be sharing more during the adult forum today. So I'm going to give it over to them and let them share.
Thank you, Pastor Kevin. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, so Shane and I are here to talk to you very briefly now about something that we're very passionate about. That's Royal Families Kids Camp. What is Royal Families Kids Camp? It's our desire for every child to experience unconditional love, hope, and safety. The mission of Royal Families Kids Camp is to create life-changing moments for children who have experienced relational trauma. And the goal is to show God's love and for kids to have an opportunity to be kids. What is RFKC? Our chapter is based out of Sumner. There's 200 chapters across North America and actually across the globe. There's currently 4 chapters based in Iowa. It's a faith-based camp for abused and neglected kids in the foster care system, ages 7 to 11. It's a 1-week-long camp. It takes a lot of work and people to put that together. Over 50 plus volunteers for the week. And then there are some volunteers that come for just a day. We'll talk more about that later. Some counties we serve: Bremer, Chickasaw, Fayette, Allamakee, Winneshiek, Blackhawk, Grundy, Floyd, Howard, Buchanan, Marshall, and Clayton. Now, while I can share with you that the office is out of Sumner for this chapter, where I'm often asked, well, where is camp? And we can't say. A lot of these kids, the situation they're in, being removed from the home, it would put them in danger potentially if the location of the camp was known, so we can't share that. How do the children get chosen? There's a child placement coordinator that works with social workers. Social workers give out applications to parents, foster parents, and guardians. So on a personal note, kind of what it means to me, and this picture that you see up here, to me kind of exemplifies somewhat of what Royal Families Kids Camp is about. What you see here, that's a counselor and a young person, and any pictures that are shown from camp, you'll never see a camper's face. You'll see volunteers' faces, but never a camper's face in the pictures. But this picture, I think, speaks to the question that some may have of, well, is it really worth it? Aren't, these kids, we hear all these stories about these kids that are in this cycle of, terrible lives, and, can they ever get out of it? And, are they lost causes? And this really speaks to a prime example of them not being lost causes. Because this counselor you see on the right, I've had the good fortune of being paired with him the last 2 years I've worked. An amazing young man, but he was a camper. 11 years ago, I think it was, he first went to camp. I think was there about 4 years or so. And I don't think he'd mind me telling you that he was probably one of the more challenging campers they had. He makes the joke that a lot of rules they have at camp were established because of him. But He's just amazing. He's embraced the faith that he was exposed to at camp. He's now going to college to be a social worker. He's volunteered now 2 years and has gone through, and it's a very extensive vetting and training process to get to be a volunteer or counselor at camp. And you know, he just has a great connection with the kids. You can see here, you know, like this kid had to get a temporary tattoo to match his tattoo behind the ear. And, you know, that picture kind of exemplifies it for me, how this, just a week of camp can be so beneficial for these kids. So Shane, I'll let you tell about what it means to you.
All right. Well, I'm going to just share a little story of how I got involved with RFKC, because I was one of the reluctant ones not to go. If anybody knows Linda Timison, a loving person, one of the most friendly people you ever see. But as soon as I started in New Hampton teaching, like one of the first things she asked me was about going to camp and trying to get me to go to camp. Well, I mean, that didn't sound real, you know, like a great plan for me. I'm around kids all day long. I'm a teacher anyway. And I didn't like being away from my own family in the summer. And at that time, I was actually working in the summer. But she kept on me and kept on me. And then so that year I didn't go. The following year, I didn't have that summer job. And here comes Linda and made eye contact with her. I knew what she was going to ask me. And I didn't have a reason to say no. So I'm like, okay, we'll try it. We'll see what this is all about. So it was probably the best decision I ever made. It really was. Because all these kids want, let me tell you this, it's going to be the easiest thing you can do to make the biggest difference in a kid's life. Because all they want is your time. You know, what is it, we spend 100 hours, they say? It's 100 hours with them. And that's all they want. So that picture up there was of me, well, I guess it's not there anymore, was just fishing on the dock with them. You know, they just want somebody to walk with them, talk with them, sit at breakfast with them, read them a book, do some reenactments at night, something like that. Something that they're not accustomed to, just having an adult